Good evening, everyone. Hope so you are staying in the pink of health. Work for a cause, not for applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence noticed. Just make your absence felt. Just make your absence felt. With these mesmerizing words, I, Simran Prashar, on behalf of Ramjas UPSC Wing, extend warm welcome to our esteemed guest speaker, IPS Mr. Amit Lodha, sir. We thank you, sir, for taking time out of his busy schedule and accepting our invitation to and joining us. So let's get ready to go crazy this evening, immersed in tantalizing conversation with IPS Mr. Amit Lodha, sir. From a struggling IITian to a fascinating cop, his journey is both enticing and inspiring. IPS Amit Lodha, sir, is a designated police officer who is serving as an IG. He has authored numerous books such as the crispy Bihar diaries and the classic Life in the Uniform, showcasing his Bihar exploits. IPS Amit Lodha sir has been awarded prestigious awards such as the President Medal for his meritorious service, Internal Gallantry Medal for his service. So let's hear it from the man himself. If one may not know, he is an IIT graduate, a rare breed of engineer, author, and above all, a top cop. So, over to you, sir. Kindly enlighten us with your wisdom of words.
Thank you so much, and I'm really delighted to interact with so many young minds. I really do not like monologues, and I hated lectures when I was a young student like you. I would like all of you to ask me as many questions as possible. Let it be an interactive session. But I'll just speak briefly about my story, which I've often repeated in so many interviews and which are so common nowadays on YouTube. Social media actually has gone to every house, and your story is kind of repeated in the loop. But I'll tell you that I was a young, bright student in school, and I thought that was quite good in physics and maths. So I appeared for the IIT exam purely because of competition with my peers. And the day I reached IIT, I realized that I had made a big mistake. It was a blunder, rather, because I realized two things. First of all, that I had no interest in engineering. Being good in physics and maths is one thing, and having an interest in engineering is one thing. And secondly, I used to think that I was quite intelligent, quite brilliant when I was in school. But when you go to IIT, you realize there's no dearth of geniuses in this country. And I developed a huge complex because I could see that people were solving questions in thin air, and it was a different world altogether. So I developed a loser's complex, and I started doing very badly in the academics of IIT. I stopped going to the classes. I failed in maths, got an E grade. And because of my poor academic performance, my performance in other things, including extracurricular activities, also went for a toss. And it was, very strange that even a small thing like playing a squash match, an inter-hostel squash match, was disastrous for me. I used to lose in every competition I used to take part in. And I developed a loser's complex, and I used to think that I was the unluckiest person in this world, that everything that could go wrong was going wrong with me. And I used to find various excuses, blame it on my parents, blame it on my friends, a lot of things. And I developed कि एक आदत हो गई रोने धोने की. जो भी दोस्त थे मेरे को अवॉइड करने लगे कि जब भी इसके रूम में जो है रोता धोता रहता है, इससे दूर ही रहना ठीक है. And I was one of the very, very few IIT students who were unemployed at the end of 4 years. In IIT, it's your passport to success and whatnot they talk about. But I was one of the few people who was unemployed because of my disastrous academic performance as well as my poor personality and very poor people skills. I could not speak to people. I was so shy and timid. I used to get nervous in the presence of 2 or 3 people. So but I always had this desire, this dream to become an IAS or an IPS officer. And when I told my friends that I'm appearing for the UPSC after IIT, they were absolutely surprised. They were shocked that you did so badly in IIT. How could you get into the civil services? It is such a difficult exam, and the syllabus is huge. And you do not have any confidence in yourself. And there are 3 stages to clear: prelims, mains, and the interview. So I knew that I would lose because I was already in a bad shape mentally, and physically also I become very bad. I put on huge weight. I was just When you go home, your parents, your mom, your mausi will say, कि कितना इस पतला हो गया, उसको घी की रोटी खिलाओ, आलू पराठे खिलाओ, and all those kind of things. And at this habit of opening the fridge every now and then, and rummage through it and eat whatever was available, and had no exercise that time, stopped exercising, so bloated, and I used to find various excuses not to study. I used to study with music on. Can you believe it? I used to listen to Kishore Kumar songs and appear in my books looking for answers to constitutional problems. So you can imagine what my concentration was. And whenever there was a one-day match, there was a cricket match, I would put on the television and watch it for hours. And then I had this very bad habit of constantly looking at myself in the mirror, setting up my hair and how I'm looking and all that. So everything that I did everything to make myself fail at the exams. And I'd already given up hope. But I would say that I've always been very lucky. One of my friends, Yashish Dahiya, who owns a company called policybazaar.com, he visited Jaipur that time, and मेरी जो आदत थी उस पर रोना धोना मैंने शुरू किया, मेरा बहुत बुरा हाल हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं होगा लाइफ में. And then he said कि नहीं अमित, लाइफ में जो चाहते हैं exactly वही तो होता है. You get what you want in life. So right now you're attracting all the negative energy in the world by constantly saying that मेरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, मेरा बहुत बुरा हाल होगा, मैं fail हो जाऊंगा. If you start attracting the positive things, think positively. I know it sounds very cliched, but this is the truth. That have faith in yourself and believe that you can do it, and sab acha hoga. Everything will be right, all right, and you'll succeed. So I just pondered about it. It was a small statement, but it made a huge difference to me. कि हम जो चाहते exactly वही तो होता है. Earlier I had a very poor discipline. I used to sleep at 3 a.m., wake up at 11:30, because मैं चाहता ही वो था. Then I decided that I'll go to sleep by 11, wake up at 7. Nothing great, but these are small things which made a change in my lifestyle. Then I threw away all the bhujia packets from my house. And then I shifted to my nana's house where there was no cable television. I shaved off my hair and did not shave my beard for full 1 year, so that, I will stop looking at myself in the mirror. So this is what I desired. यही मैं चीजें चाहता था इस बार कि नहीं, इसे मुझे करना ही नहीं है. I removed all the distractions in my life. And I'm so thankful that I did not have mobile phones during those days. Otherwise, it would have been disastrous for me. And then I started preparing for the UPSC exams in the right earnest. I went through the syllabus of and then went through the question papers of the last 7-8 years, found out what was the pattern of question papers, made a very good peer group of people who had already succeeded in the earlier attempts or who were very sincere in their preparation. And I started believing in myself that I will solve this problem. I'll try to solve this problem. It will take me 6-7 attempts, but I'll get to the root of this problem. And slowly, my confidence started increasing day by day. And I was raring to go by the time the main exams came. And I was very lucky that I got through at a very young age. And after that, I became quite successful in my journey as a police officer in Bihar, which I never imagined. And after that, I not only wanted to succeed or develop myself as a professional, but I wanted to develop my personality also. There was much more to me than just being a police officer. And Chetan Bhagat is my batchmate, who is the best-selling author of so many books. We all know about that. So when I came up with that book, 5 Point Someone, I also felt inspired, though I was jealous with him that time that, Chetan had become such a huge success and I missed out an opportunity of writing book. But later on, I took inspiration from him and I thought that I will also write a script for a film day. I will imagine that my own story will be the script of that film. And as I'm speaking to you, web series being shot on my life right now, and it will be released on Netflix next year. And I've written 2 books already, Bihar Diaries and Life in the Uniform. I just wanted to tick off something from a bucket list. Never imagined that those books will be bestsellers and so many people will love those books, particularly the youngsters like you. And the book will help in the perspective common people have about the police. Apart from that, another interesting follow-up of the books is that I'm being invited by many forums, including your college, to deliver books or address students So you can imagine a student like me who was so shy, could not speak in front of two people, is addressing people all over the country nowadays. In fact, I'm getting invitations from abroad also at various prestigious forums. So this just shows that whatever you desire in life, if you really apply yourself in that direction, constructively have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, then nothing is impossible. It's very cliche that believe in yourself, but that is very, very important because the journey to your success starts from young. You have to win a lot of battles in your mind. And once you start believing in yourself, nothing is impossible. You can definitely do your best. So this is why I wanted to talk about my life story in short. And I would be glad that all of you ask me as many questions as possible because that is what I know.
Exactly, sir. As you said, what we really want is what we really get. And I think it will be biggest takeaway from this session. So there are a lot of questions. I would like to take them one by one. Sir, how heavy is it on your shoulder when you are termed as super cop? Not amongst just yourself, but amongst your family and friends.
Simran, I really do not like the term super cop or, I abhor these terms, prominence in a lot of people find them very fashionable, these terms. But in reality, a policeman is as normal as possible. And a policeman, he or she is a policewoman is a reflection of the society. And ultimately, anybody who abides by the laws is ethical, stands by certain principles. In my opinion, he or she is a super cop. And you have to work as a team. No IPS officer, no police person, policeman or woman can claim that he or she alone is responsible for all the successes around. One has to lead by example, of course, that is very important. As a senior IPS officer, I lead by example. I don't expect people to do things which I myself cannot do. If I cannot walk for hours or chart into Naxal territory or lead the police party from the front to fight Naxals in a pitch battle or face the mob myself, I cannot expect my subordinates to do the same thing. Similarly, if I'm doing something, then I cannot tell my subordinate, please, you do not do these things. So I'm very clear about all those principles, and I'm very proud, very privileged to don the uniform. And once you put on the uniform, it's a different feeling. It's a surreal feeling. And you work as a team. Imagine that you are a part of the Indian cricket team, Indian hockey team. Once you put on the colors of India, your entire persona, your mentality, everything changed. The physicality changed. You work as a team. And you do not bother who makes runs or who takes the catch, but you feel ebullient when the team wins. That is the most important thing. So the same thing holds for police because we are in the uniform service and we work as a team. So that is very, very interesting and very challenging.
Exactly, sir. Sir, I personally went through your book and I came to know that you were underconfident during your IIT days. Sir, at what point of time did you actually realize your true potential and how you keep yourself motivated?
There was potential. All of us have potential for something or other. It's not that if you're not good in academics, you can't do well in other fields of your life. And then I always knew that I was intelligent. In fact, my brother encouraged me a lot because when I was going through that terrible time, he told me that you're not concentrating, you're not applying yourself. And since you already decided that you do not like engineering, and it was a fact, I was not interested in engineering. So he told me that that's why you are not doing well. But the moment you find your purpose, when you find something interesting, then definitely you do everything possible to succeed in that field. So once I knew that I wanted to be civil servant, I put myself wholeheartedly in that. And as I told you that one statement, one discussion with Yashish Daya made a huge impact on me. आपको जिंदगी में जो आप चाहते हैं आपको वही मिलता है. You get what you want in life. That's a very simple statement, but profound for me. So that is exactly what happened with me. And आप जितने भी लोग सुन रहे हैं, youngsters, you're too young right now, but this is exactly what will guide you to the so-called success in life later on.
Okay, sir, proceeding further, who is your biggest source of inspiration, a person or a book, anything which keeps you motivated all the time?
I get inspiration from a lot of things. And I guess, of course, I love reading because to be an author, you need to read a lot. Only then can you become a good writer. I read a lot. I love the character Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. It was beautiful. I loved Pathir Panchali. And even I love characters like Jason Bourne from the Bourne series. Anybody who believes in it, who takes on his adversaries single-handedly and who rises like the phoenix from the ashes, you know. Anybody who works against the odds is inspiring for me. In real life, I will not say that I have any role models, but yes, the models can range from Novak Djokovic to MS Dhoni to so many people around me. I see, you know, the UPSC results were declared yesterday, and so many of them belong to such humble backgrounds. I was so amazed and so happy, you know. My heart was so much, swelled with happiness that vegetable seller's child has become an IAS officer. There was a person in Bihar whose father used to sell sarees on cycles. Yet that boy has become an IPS officer. So this just shows that, you know, everybody has opportunities, and whoever fights his way out, whoever believes in himself or herself, ultimately does succeed. Hard work never fails you. Sometimes you can take a longer process, longer route to that, but you get your due. It's never like that you worked hard and you did not get your due. Simran, I would suggest you one thing: if people have questions, they can come directly also, if it's possible.
Okay,
I
sir.
would love to interact with all of them. It's possible. Otherwise, you can keep asking.
Okay, sir. So if anybody has question, he can kindly unmute himself or herself, but please maintain the decorum. Anyone?
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि कई बार कंसिस्टेंसी मेंटेन करने में क्यों प्रॉब्लम आती है?
आपका क्या नाम है? अरुण।
सर अरुण।
अरुण, कंसिस्टेंसी क्या पढ़ाई करने में या कैसे आप कह रहे हैं? किस चीज में कंसिस्टेंसी?
सर मैं रामजस से ही ग्रेजुएशन कर रहा हूँ, फाइनल ईयर है, फिजिक्स ऑनर्स। तो सर कई बार पढ़ते पढ़ते मतलब हफ्ता अच्छा चलता है तो ऐसा आएगा कि दूसरे हफ्ते में कई बार बिल्कुल पढ़ाई नहीं होगी, तो कई बार होगी तो बहुत थोड़ी होगी, तो उसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
देखो, थोड़ा सा उतार चढ़ाव तो चलेगा। आप रोबोट नहीं हो, मशीन नहीं हो, आप एक इंसान हो। थोड़ा सा तो चलता है उतार चढ़ाव, मेरे को इस उम्र में भी होता है, बट फिर भी आपको कंसिस्टेंट रहना ही पड़ेगा। मतलब अपने प्रिपरेशन के लिए भी और अदरवाइज भी लाइफ में। और आप देखेंगे जितने भी ये सुपरस्टार्स हैं, चाहे वो फिल्म एक्टर हो अक्षय कुमार, चाहे रॉजर फेडरर हो, चाहे अपने प्रधानमंत्री हो, आपको लगता होगा ये सब सक्सेसफुल कैसे होते जा रहे हैं। हर चीज जिसमें हाथ डालते हैं, पिक्चर भी हिट है, गेम भी जीत लिया, इलेक्शन भी जीत लिया, बट इसमें काफी इनकी पहले मेहनत पड़ती है, एंड देन इट बिकम्स अ वे ऑफ लाइफ। इनकी आदत हो जाती है, तो सक्सेस कई लोगों की आदत बन जाती है। मैं खुद आपको मैंने बताया कि मैं काइंड ऑफ फेलियर था आईआईटी में। 4 साल मेरे बड़े खराब रहे, तो मैं फेल की होने की आदत हो गई थी मेरी हर चीज में, और अभी मेरी हर चीज में सक्सेस की आदत हो गई है। तो आप जब लगातार कोई चीज मेहनत करते हैं, आपको एंजॉय करते हैं, कंसिस्टेंसी तभी आएगी जब व्हेन यू एंजॉय द प्रोसेस। अगर आपको उस चीज में मजा नहीं आ रहा है तो फिर आप कैसे करेंगे? मान लीजिए आपको मैं बोलूं आप टेनिस के लिए, बैडमिंटन के लिए आपको मजा ही नहीं आ रहा, तो कितनी भी कोचिंग करा लो, दिन भर आप मेहनत करिए, आपसे नहीं होगा। लेकिन आपको किसी चीज में इंटरेस्ट आ गया, सपोज आपको स्केचिंग में या गाना गाने में किसी में, तो आपको पैशन जब आपके पास आ जाएगा तो आप कंसिस्टेंट अपने आप ही हो जाएंगे। तो ये चीज जरूर देख लीजिए कि आप जो भी चीज जिंदगी में करना चाह रहे हैं, आप अपने आप के लिए करना चाह रहे हैं या आप दूसरों के लिए कर रहे हैं। आप यूपीएससी के एग्जाम इसलिए दे रहे हैं क्योंकि सारे लोग देते हैं और ये बहुत ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल चीज इसलिए कर रहे हैं, या आप अपनी खुशी के लिए कर रहे हैं? ये चीज जरूर डिसाइड कर लीजिए। और कंसिस्टेंट आप हो जाएंगे जब आप डिस्ट्रैक्शंस हटाने लगेंगे, और अपना ग्रुप बनाइए ऐसा जो इसी काम में है। इसी तरह के लोगों से मिलेंगे तो उनका सबका फोकस भी एक जगह ही रहेगा। दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। ये आप देख लीजिए।
थैंक यू सो मच।
Yeah, if someone has more questions, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. It's very nice to attend your session. It was very insightful. Sir, my question is that what can we do as students, extracurricular activities or the activities we can move into to develop ourselves and to make ourselves more relevant for UPSC exams that can help us in that exam? Thank you, sir.
Ritvik, for UPSC, you do not need to do any extracurricular activities because the exam is very different from a normal examination, and you need to have a wide range of knowledge. You know, You need to understand the international policies, national policies, a lot of things, economics, constitutional law, everything under the sun. But I would definitely suggest you to have extracurricular activities, interest in other things, because this will hone up your personality and this will make you more complete as a human being. Otherwise, they will have no fun in life. So I love challenging myself. I keep learning new things, whether it is a game of tennis, music, whatever which makes me challenge myself. So that is more important. And pick up hobbies, and even after you successfully complete the UPSC exams, you must have some more interest and passions in your life. Because I find it very unfortunate that most of us Indians do not have any interests. We just live a life, we just exist. But to have an all-round personality, you need to develop a lot of interests. That is very, very important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the answer. It has really satisfied my question. By the way, sir, I'm a big fan of you. I read and saw all of your interviews and your speeches. They were really inspiring. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ritvik.
Yes, sir. You are indeed an inspiration and role model for all of us. Sir, my next question is, as you mentioned, you are a huge fan of Kishore Kumar. And sir, how music has impacted you in a positive way?
I studied in St. Xavier's before, and we had Irish fathers. People had come from Ireland, and they used to teach us proper English, accent, pronunciation, and all those things. But more than teaching us English, they were very much interested in music. And in the evenings, we used to be surprised to see them playing the guitar and playing the latest songs, pop songs, rock and roll, and whatnot. And they used to tell that he who does not sing does not have a soul. I remember that. So I was an atrocious singer, and I was terrible. I never attempted any singing in my school, my college days. The first time I sang at a National Academy, everybody told me that if you sing criminals, it will be the worst possible torture. And it's a fact, I'm not exaggerating anything. But I always loved Kishore Kumar, as I told you earlier, that I love challenges. So I knew that I was very besura, betala, but I will try my best. So that's an inspiration for me, the challenge in itself. And I love the voice of Kishore Kumar and the way he sings. And of course, his music is very inspiring. Another thing is that when I was preparing for the UPSC initially, I used to listen to all the sad songs. Really, really sad songs, depressing songs. It was very foolish of me. But now, the moment somebody puts on a sad song, I immediately stop him. I said, I do not want any negativity. Even in my car, I will have the most petty songs, full on life. So that is very, very important to.
Sir left. Yes, sir, you are loud and clear.
Okay. So I think I'm able to answer that question also. So music is very important.
Sir, if you don't mind, there's a request from audience side. It would be really great if you could sing two or few lines of your favorite singer.
I will try to do something. My children will. So can you hear me right now?
Yes, sir, but your sound is echoing. I think maybe there's a technical glitch.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, better.
Song sing. But, Okay, I will try this and it's closed easy. This. You're muting me constantly. Simran.
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
I don't know why you are muting me constantly.
No, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, I'll try this song on the suggestion of my son. एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं, एक बार वक्त से Simran, there's a problem in the mobile. I'll just internet. I'll just come back to you. Imran, तुम्हारे मोबाइल में क्या है? मेरे घर से
Okay, sir. No.
चलो चल रहा अभी तो चलिए ठीक है चलो वापस जाओ उसको बैक पे जाओ तो सुनने नहीं चाहता मोबाइल फोन गाना ऐसे ही मैं गाना गाता हूँ वो रोक देता है फिर मैं इसको कंप्लीट कर ही लेता हूँ एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं एक बार वक्त से सिमरन मैं गाना छोड़ देता हूँ ये जैसे ही मैं
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but I think there is a problem in the network from your side. That's why it's getting disconnected again and again.
In my network or your network?
Yes, sir. In your network, I guess,
your
because
network,
your
sir.
sound is also lagging and your video, it gets paused every time.
Okay, then इमरान इसको क्या करें तो वो कह रहे हैं थोड़ा नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम अभी ठीक है सिमरन इज इट ऑलराइट राइट नाउ
Yeah, sir. It's all right, but at some point your video is getting paused.
It was
It's
going
all
on
right,
well
sir.
till the
It's a
time I
digital
started
area.
singing.
Problem happens with everyone. It's all right, sir. Completely all right. But I must say, indeed, it was mellifluous. We heard you singing. Sir, proceeding further. Sir, it would be really... Am I audible?
Am I all right? Am I audible to you right now? You tell me that.
Yes, sir. Now you are clear.
Okay. I don't know what is the problem with this. Why is it creating trouble?
It's
But
all right,
anyway,
sir.
I could not finish my song.
It's okay, sir. It's okay. Sir, next question is, it would be really
You asked me
great.
the questions on network.
Sir, next question is, it would be really great if you could share any hilarious incident when you were during your IIT.
In IIT, there were a lot of hilarious incidents and not one, so many of them. Let me just one incident that my roommate Anuj Kuraki was a very studious boy, and at this habit of telling everybody that मैं पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ। इमरान तुम कैसे कुछ आगे इसमें गए वो तुम इसको बंद कर दो। इसको हटाओ, ये क्या है? क्या किया? Simran, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hello. Simran?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
I'm so sorry, some technical glitch today.
It's all right, sir.
Yeah. So my roommate had this habit of telling everybody कि मैं पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ, मुझे मत करना. And he was very studious. तो हम लोग पढ़ने वाले थे नहीं, हम सबको बहुत इरिटेशन होता था, बहुत चिढ़ हो जाती थी कि कुछ ज्यादा ही ये दिखा रहा है कि पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ. तो जैसे ही वो रूम में गया, हमने उसको पहले बाहर से लॉक कर दिया. Then we switched off the lights from outside. We removed the fuse. And then he started shouting at us, abused us, cursed us. But हमने कहा पता नहीं कैसे लाइट चली गई. He knew that हम ही ने किया है. फिर किसी मेरा दोस्त था समीर गेलॉट, उसने अखबारों में आग लगाई और वेंटिलेटर से उसके रूम में पूरा वो फेंक दिया, अखबार में आग लगा के. And then he started shouting कि गुलाटी के रूम में आग लग गई, गुलाटी के रूम में आग लग गई. Then बाथरूम से बहुत ही गंदा पानी भर के लाए वो लोग और वो पानी वेंटिलेटर से रूम में फेंका उसके पूरा. तो यू कैन नाउ इमेजिन कि उसकी क्या पढ़ाई की हालत की होगी. पूरा रूम उसका पहले आग लगाई, फिर उसने पानी डाला और उसको बाहर से भी लॉक करके हम लोग चले गए. 2 घंटे बाद पूरा आए. मतलब वो अंधेरे में बैठा रहा, गर्मी में पसीना पसीना हो गया गंदगी के अंदर, और वापस आके फिर 2 घंटे बाद हमने उसको खोला. एंड यू कैन इमेजिन हमारे पीछे जो भागा सिमरन, वो होता ना बैट लेके सबको मारने के लिए. सो इट वाज हिलेरियस. बट ऐसे रोज ही काम होते थे. एंड पीपल फाइंड इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू बिलीव कि आईआईटी में भी इतनी बदमाशियां होती हैं. काफी ज्यादा बदमाशियां होती है आईआईटी में. ऐसे काम काफी किए हमने वहाँ.
It was indeed hilarious, sir. Proceeding further, sir, what are your mool mantras for leading a content life?
Content life, first of all, you need to be very happy with yourself. And you can be happy only when you do things which you find enjoyable, which are enriching for you, for your soul. And you stop looking for external validation. That is very, very important. So I am doing exactly what I want to do in my life. जो मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है मैं वो सारी चीजें कर रहा हूँ. Maybe I've come at a stage where I can do all these things. I'll be very honest with you. कई बार होता है कि आप वो स्टेज पे है ही नहीं कि आप अपनी सारी इच्छाएं पूरी कर पाए. तो मैं अपने दिल की जितनी इच्छाएं, apart from my professional work, which I'm very serious about, I'm constantly pursuing a new hobby. तो खेलना, गाना, बजाना, food, movies, I'm doing all these things. And apart from that, I'm very happy with myself. I do not bother about what people are doing in their lives. किसने फेसबुक पे क्या डाला, कौन क्या कर रहा है, मेरे बैचमेट्स गुड़गांव में या दिल्ली में क्या कर रहे हैं, बॉम्बे में क्या कर रहे हैं. I really do not care. I'm very happy with my life. That is the most important thing for me. You can call me self-centered, but that is the way I am.
No, sir, you are not. Sir, when we look at you, you are fit as fiddle. And amidst this COVID pandemic, there are people who are facing obesity issues and all. So, sir, what is your advice? How you keep yourself so healthy and so fit?
Healthy, I do not know, but I'm very fit. That I will accept because I have some health issues. But that is not because of my mistakes. It's because I suffer from a disease. But I keep very fit because I play a lot. And don't play to remain fit. I enjoy playing. As I told you, everything I do is for enjoyment. I enjoy playing, so I play for 2 hours every day. And after that, I eat a lot. Yesterday, I also had pizzas and whatnot. Today, I had gone to watch a film. Before going to the film, I had aloo puri. After 8 puris I had. That is what the cook told me, sir. Apne 8 puriya khaiye. In the hall again, I got some, popcorn and then some cheese sandwich for myself. So I eat a lot. But then I burned that out. So that's what I'm telling you right now. You are all young. You are very fit and fine. But once you start getting older, I'll see that most of you will stop playing or exercising. And that is the tragedy with our country. Most of us do not find time to play, but that is an excuse. If you can find time to be on Instagram or watch a film on Netflix every now and then, watch web series, you can easily find time to exercise. So I would suggest that you must find some kind of an exercise which makes you happy. It can be gym, it can be running. It's everyone's own choice. But I love playing. So I play for 2 hours every day. So that's why I kept this 5 o'clock schedule that after 6:30 I'll go and play. That is very clear.
Exactly, sir. There is a saying also, na, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So health is wealth. The next question is, how much has technology upgraded your policing, especially during this COVID pandemic?
See, the police department keeps constantly abreast with the latest technical developments. And many times people think that police does not know anything about technology. It's not true. The police department of India, even in a state like Bihar, is quite well abreast with technology. And the criminals are very tech savvy nowadays. Long time back, we could arrest them using a set of spies and sources and information. But today we have to track them down using mobile phones and computers. And the youngsters like you, whoever are coming after cracking the UPSC, are very, very technically savvy. So it's not a big issue, but I must salute all the security forces of the country, the IB, the RAW, NIA, not many other agencies, which constantly work behind the scenes, which go through all the data that you put on the internet or whatever you're doing. They go through the Facebook posts, WhatsApp chats, whatnot of terrorists, potential criminals, potential terrorists. And that is what is keeping our country safe. If you see, our country is surrounded by so many neighbors which are not exactly friendly to us. Still, India is a safe country today. There are very few terrorist attacks in our country. It's largely because of the tireless work behind the scenes by our agencies like the IB and the RAW. And they, of course, use technology to the best of their skills. And as a police officer, my team also, I also use a lot of technology, not only to arrest criminals, but also to augment our very, very meager resources. Right now, elections are going on in Bihar, Panchayat elections, and my force is limited. I do not have sufficient force. But then we have come up with so many ideas like, installing biometrics at the polling booths and putting CCTVs at so many booths. There's so many things which we have done, even in a state like Bihar. So this is very, very heartening. And I'm very sure that technology will always remain very important for the police department.
We thank all cops like you today, sir, who are making our country safe and keeping our faith in law and order more pronounced. So moving further, it would be really great if you could share any incident, thrilling, that you mentioned in your book, Bihar Diaries or Life in the Uniform.
Simran, there's so many incidents. In fact, I've written 2 books on them, but thrilling incident, let me just think about it.
So your favorite personally?
My favorite, all of them have been favorite. Once you come back home safely and you have secured the release of a kidnapped child or rescued somebody or helped change somebody's life in a positive manner, that is all thrilling, very, very enriching, very gratifying. And I've been very fortunate that almost all the challenges that came across I came across as a professional. Ultimately, I emerged successful in them. But one of the incidents is very dear to me because a child was kidnapped in Patna. He was a student of IPS school. I mentioned in my first book, Bihar Diaries. And he was the only son of his parents. And I had no business, I was SP Nalanda. But purely by chance, I got embroiled in that case. And I took it upon myself that I will arrest the kidnappers and recover the boy. And when I arrested the kidnapper in a very dramatic fashion, he led us to the hideout where he had kept the boy. But there was no child there. And, jo kehte hain Hindi mein, पैरों के नीचे से ज़मीन खिसक गई. I was actually shocked that there was no child, and the man was also not worried. He said, "आप मुझे गोली मार दीजिए, कुछ कर दीजिए, बच्चा तो मैं बताऊंगा ही नहीं आपको कहाँ पर है." But it was purely because of the hard work of my police officers, and one of the police officers had a fantastic network of sources in that area. So that source told us that he has hidden the boy somewhere else. And when we reached that place, I remember I was not carrying any weapon with me that day, and the kidnappers welcomed us with a hail of bullets, and my bodyguard pushed me, he just pushed me to the ground. That saaf goliyan chal rahi hain, and I had no pistol. And I crawled my way out of that hail of bullets and hid behind a tree. And finally, that criminal was shot dead those criminals were shot at and we recovered the boy safely. So it ended up very well, and my name came in the papers next day. But I just shudder at the thought that if something had happened to the boy under my watch, how could I have answered the parents of that boy? So it is very critical in my job. There's a very thin line between success and failure. It's just touch and go. But till now, I've been very, very fortunate.
It was indeed commendable, sir. Hats off to you. Sir, next question is related to UPSC. Can a weak student become IAS or an IPS?
Depends on the definition of a weak student. In IIT, I had become a weak student. But otherwise, if you see, I had already cleared IIT. That means I had the potential and I was quite intelligent. So weak ki definition kya, Simran, I do not know. But I still believe that if you work hard, work systematically, and have a certain caliber, you'll definitely get through. You need to have certain potential. It's not that you're very below average and you're getting, 50, 60% consistently in your school. And then suddenly you say that I'll become an IAS or an IPS officer. It is possible, but then it is an uphill task. So all the people who clear the UPSC exam, they have certain caliber. There's no denying that. But again, a lot of people realize their potential late. Some people have the potential, but they do not live up to the promises of their potential. And some people are overconfident also, that they think that they're too intelligent. There's so many factors, but ultimately you do not need to be a genius to clear the UPSC exam. You need to be fairly above average and consistent and hardworking in a systematic manner. These 3-4 qualities, and I'm sure you'll get to. And of course, you need to be very, very lucky, because the seats are so limited, I can see a lot of people asking questions in the box. You can let them also ask if you want.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir. Nothing is impossible. And in fact, the word impossible itself says, I am possible. Okay, sir. Proceeding further. What are your mool mantras for cracking UPSC?
My mool mantras for cracking UPSC, I've repeated it so often. Believe in yourself, work systematically, and do it passionately. If you do not have a passion, the desire, intense desire to clear it. In fact, anything you want to do in life, you must have an intense desire and have passion for that. Only then can you be successful and happy. That is more important. Success, I really do not rate success very highly. You can be successful, yet you can be unhappy. So for me, happiness is very, very important. If you're not happy doing what you're doing, then there's no point being successful. You can be a very rich man making money in the stock market every day or working in a corporate house, but you can still be unhappy the way they showed Farhan Akhtar in the film Rock On. So for me, happiness is more important. So pursue your passions and actually enjoy the process. That is very, very important.
Exactly, sir. Happiness is the ultimate key. I would like to request audience, if anyone has any question, kindly unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I had a question regarding the optional. Sir, how to choose an optional subject when the subjects given in the list of UPSC syllabus is not in your graduation subject?
See, I have paid for the UPSC exam almost 24 years back. It has been a long time, but I think the basics still remain the same. For the optionals, if the subject is not something that you had graduated in, you choose something which is relatable to your field. For example, if you've taken political science as your graduation subject, you can take something like PubAd. For example, I had done engineering, but I had no interest in engineering. But there were physics and maths as my optionals, so I took them. So something which is close to your field of graduation and something which is interesting for you. People will tell you that you take a subject which is scoring, but this is very subjective. It keeps changing. Sometimes people score a lot in anthropology, but the very next year, you will not find anybody doing well from anthropology. So these things keep changing, but find something that is interesting to you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Yes. Good evening, sir. Hello.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. I can.
Yeah. So, sir, the question which I'm having is that, so how to cope up with the stress periods and anxiety while we prepare for exam?
I can understand there's a lot of anxiety and stress because people treat it as a life and death experience, UPSC preparations. But let me tell you that anxiety or stress is very natural, but to a certain extent. Do not consider it as an end of the world. Appear with full confidence, prepare hard, prepare systematically, but as I told you, hard work never fails. Sometimes you get through in the first attempt, sometimes you will take some time. But if you believe in yourself and you know that your preparation was in the right direction, then you'll definitely succeed. But do not overburden yourself with excess pressure. That is not really good, because then your performance will be hampered. You will not do very well. It happens. I've seen so many people who have worked very hard for years, and then in the examination hall, they get so nervous that they are not able to write the correct answers. The moment they see a question, they worry so much that I cannot describe that. I've seen it with my own eyes. So my own son is going to appear for the exam next year. I've just suggested one thing to him, that if you find the question paper very tricky, then remember that it is very difficult and tricky for everyone in the classroom. And if you cannot answer it, nobody else can answer it. Then you try your best. Then you write your best possible answer for that. And after that, of course, it is all your luck, your destiny. But if you become too nervous, you become jittery, you're not able to write the answers, then that is really difficult. That's a bad situation. And, stress is a part of our life. It will keep coming every day, professionally and personally. It depends on how you cope up with it, how you react to a particular problem. Even after you become an IAS or an IPS officer, you'll be, consumed by a lot of problems all around you. It is up to you how you react to that. So that is the mark of a true leader also. Later on also, it will be very important for you to tackle pressure in the right way.
Any more questions?
So, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Arun.
Sir, at what time during our preparation we get realized that we are fully prepared first attempt, sir?
आर्यन पता चल जाता है खुद को तैयारी करते हुए, और इसका सिलेबस इतना इट्स लाइक एन ओशन, तो आपको कभी पता ही नहीं चलेगा सिलेबस खत्म हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, बट बेसिक्स अपनी पूरी कर लेनी चाहिए. चाहे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इकोनॉमिक्स है, हिस्ट्री है, यू विल नो दैट इतना तो मैंने कर ही लिया है. एंड आपको पता चल जाएगा, आपको क्लियरली पता चल जाएगा आपकी तैयारी क्या है. तो जितने जो सक्सेसफुल लोग होते हैं उनको काफी हद तक पता चल जाता है कि उनकी तैयारी कैसी है, और उनको ये भी पता होता है कि वो एग्जाम में निकल जाएंगे नहीं निकल जाएंगे. So once you start preparing in the right direction, right perspective, you will know for sure कि तुम्हारी तैयारी हो गई है. But of course, एग्जाम से पहले तैयारी पूरी कर लो. कॉमन सेंस तो यही कहता है अगर जून में एग्जाम है तो मई तक तैयारी पूरी कर लो.
Sir, next
Thank
question
you, sir.
says, yeah, proceed, Arun.
सर, आंसर राइटिंग से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन था कि हमें आंसर राइटिंग कब स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, पूरे सिलेबस खत्म करने के बाद, या हमने सिलेबस वाइज प्रिपरेशन करी है तो हमें सिलेबस वाइज ही आंसर राइटिंग करनी चाहिए?
आंसर राइटिंग क्या होता है, मतलब क्वेश्चन पेपर्स के जो क्वेश्चन के आंसर है वो सब कह रहे हो आप?
हाँ सर, मेंस के.
तो वो तो आपके नैक पे, आप जब पढ़ रहे हो तो ऑब्वियसली यू रिमेम्बर, यू मेमोराइज सर्टेन थिंग्स, चाहे वो इंडिया के लॉज हो, चाहे कोई करंट प्रॉब्लम हो, then you must know how to write an answer. And मेरा opinion तो ये है कि you should write a very generalistic answer. Do not try to show off that you are an expert in that field. And if your answers are up to the point, you do not beating around the bush, that itself is very, very sufficient.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, next question says, how to answer that tricky question, why you wanna be a civil servant?
Why is it a tricky question? You should be very clear why you're appearing for the civil services. And you just tell the truth. The interview board asked me specifically that I'm an IIT and why am I becoming a civil servant? And then I told them that I had no interest in engineering and I always wanted to be a civil servant. And my engineering skills, my background of science and maths will definitely help me as a civil servant also, because there's no department where you do not require maths, where you do not require logic and common sense. So this is the answer I gave. So it's not tricky at all.
Thank
And
you
tell
so
them
much.
that we are, that we want to become because we want to serve the country. And of course, we're enamored with all the power and the other accoutrements that come with the service. There's no denying that. It's a very, very prestigious job. Why should we deny that it is a prestige? It's a wonderful job, one of the finest professions in the country.
Exactly, sir. Parul Zingat, kindly unmute yourself and ask question to sir. Parul, you can unmute yourself. Any more questions?
Good evening, sir. My question is, how much political intervention, sir, is in IAS IPS work?
It all depends on you, Arsh. I have never faced any political interference, and I'm not exaggerating, trust me. Because politicians, your seniors, everybody knows what kind of person you are, what is your reputation, and your reputation precedes you. If you're honest and impartial, you're neutral to everybody, and you do the right thing. Politicians also appreciate that. At times, you will not fit into the scheme of things. They will want way, things to be their way. You'll be out of the establishment for some time, but all governments, all systems require good officers. So you will be back in the fray very soon. I've been transferred a few times. I will not deny that I did not like it. I was upset, but then I realized that I was posted to an even better place. So I never had any regrets. And if your conscience is clear, you can have a very wonderful sleep. The establishment, the governments, they keep on changing, but all the governments ultimately appreciate good officers. So, in my opinion, it's the fault lies with us. If we look for, our own selfish motives, we want good posting, good in the sense that lucrative postings where we have certain personal agenda, then of course the politicians will know that we want to stay in that place. Then they will also have an axe to grind. But once they realize that you are neutral, impartial, and it doesn't matter to you that whatever posting is given to you, you're going to do your best, then you will not be troubled at all. I have had very, very good postings during my entire career, and I was transferred 2 or 3 times. I will not deny that, but never did I have any problems because I realized every posting turned out to be a blessing in disguise for me. Even the so-called shunting postings. I was shunted to Sheikhpura, that I thought it was the worst possible posting in 2006, 2005. And because of that Sheikhpura incident, I wrote a book, a web series is being made on that entire incident. And that is the reason I'm talking to all of you people today. So this just shows that everything, when life gives you lemon, make lemonade. So everything can turn into a blessing for you. It depends on how you take that situation, how you react to that problem.
Well said, sir. I think magic is believing in ourselves. If we can make that happen, we can make anything happen. Any more questions? Sir, as your net is fine now, you can complete your singing. We would love to hear them.
I could see a lot of questions in the boxes. Where are those people gone?
Sir, they all are related to UPSC and you have covered one aspect.
Okay. The song is, I was singing that one. एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं, एक बार वक्त से लम्हा गिरा कहीं, वहां दास्ता मिली, लम्हा कहीं नहीं, थोड़ा सा हंसा के, थोड़ा सा रुला के, पल ये भी जाने वाला है, ओ आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो, पल जो ये जाने वाला है। बट दिस सॉन्ग पता नहीं आप लोगों ने सुना कि नहीं सुना, दिस वाज वेरी पॉपुलर ड्यूरिंग माय जनरेशन। अभी तो यू मस्ट बी लिसनिंग टू रैप सॉन्ग्स, बादशाह एंड यू नो different kind of songs, but this is a lovely song. Gulzar has penned the lyrics, the beautiful song, and it's very very pertinent if you go through the deep meaning of the lyrics.
Sir, you are indeed amazing, sir. I must say you are exceptional. You are good in everything. Any more questions, please?
Sorry?
No, sir. I'm asking audience if they have any questions.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So during an interview, you have mentioned that when you were preparing, sir, you had a lot of anxiety. So how did you manage those things, sir?
मैंने बताया ना, मेरे को बिल्कुल वो टेंशन भी रहता था और मैं बहुत नेगेटिव सोचता था, और मैं फेलियर के बारे में ही सोचता रहता था कि मेरा नहीं होगा, मेरा क्या होगा, दिस एंड दैट। बट उसके बाद मैंने पूरी अपनी मेंटालिटी चेंज कर ली। I started visualizing myself as an officer. अपने आप को यूनिफॉर्म में देखता था मैं, बट विजुअलाइज करना और ड्रीमिंग इज वन थिंग, एंड देन स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग वेरी वेरी सीरियसली। सोने से पहले विजुअलाइज करता था कि मैं आईपीएस बन गया हूँ, यूनिफॉर्म में हूँ। उठते ही सुबह देखता था कि हाँ मैं आईपीएस बन गया हूँ। लेकिन जब जग गया 2 मिनट सोच लिया, उसके बाद किताब निकालता था, बहुत सिस्टमैटिकली पढ़ता था। और जब आप सिस्टमैटिक तैयारी करते हैं, मेहनत करते हैं, तो आपको धीरे धीरे कॉन्फिडेंस आने लग जाता है। यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग वेरी वेरी पॉजिटिव, एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंड विथ मी। एंड you know, my anxiety slowly vanished because I developed a lot of confidence and I started believing in myself, and I knew that कि जो चीज मेरे दोस्त कर सकते हैं, मेरे peers कर सकते हैं, मैं exactly वो सब चीजें कर सकता हूँ। I'm no less than them. So that was a huge plus. And सोचे नहीं नेगेटिव, जब सोचना बंद कर देते हो तो अपने आप आपकी एंजाइटी, आपका नर्वसनेस कम हो जाती है। मैं अभी स्पोर्ट्स बहुत खेलता हूँ, एज आई टोल्ड यू, या इलेक्शंस मेरे यहाँ हो रहे हैं भाई, एज आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू, मेरे इलेक्शन चलते रहते हैं, रोज हम तैयारी करते हैं। बट आई टेल ऑल द एसपीज इन माय रेंज दैट यू थिंक पॉजिटिव एंड थिंक दैट हमारे इलेक्शन बहुत पीसफुली होंगे, या मैं कोई मैच खेलने जा रहा हूँ दैट वी विल विन। पहले से ही सोच लेंगे कि हार गए तो आप ऑब्वियसली देन योर परफॉर्मेंस विल बी वेरी बैड व्हेन यू आर प्लेइंग। बट इफ यू थिंक दैट यू विल विन, यू विल डू योर बेस्ट। आपको स्ट्रेस हटा लेना है, एंजॉय द प्रोसेस, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बाबा मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, और एंजॉयमेंट आ जाता है। दोनों चीजें बड़ी म्यूचुअली कंपैटिबल, यू नो, हार्ड वर्क एंड एंजॉयमेंट। जैसे जैसे आप हार्ड वर्क करते जाओगे, आपको कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा, यू विल स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग। और आप कोई चीज एंजॉय करते हो तो आपको उसको हार्ड वर्क करने में भी मजा आता है।
सर, आप खुद आईआईटी से हो सर, क्या आपको लगता है कि आईआईटीएंस का डोमिनेंट है यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज में?
देखो थोड़ा तो डोमिनेट करते ही हैं, बिकॉज आईआईटी में जो गए हैं काफी होशियार तो होते ही, तुमको पता है वो पहले भी एक बहुत ही बड़ा भारी भरकम एग्जाम देके क्लियर करके जाते हैं। बट उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि बाकी जगह से लोग नहीं निकलते हैं। अगर अभी भी तुम लिस्ट देखोगे तो सारे आईआईटीएंस कोई टॉपर नहीं होते, हर जगह के लोग भी। यूपीएससी का सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इट्स अ वेरी लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड, एंड दे आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर जीनियसेस कि आप आईआईटी में बहुत जीनियस हैं कंप्यूटर साइंस के तो आप ही निकालेंगे, कोई और नहीं निकालेगा, ऐसा नहीं है। दे आर गिविंग यू ऑप्शंस ऑफ सो मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स, सो यू नो यू शुड जस्ट बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ। आपका जो सब्जेक्ट है उसकी तैयारी आप अच्छे से करिए। एंड मैंने बताया ना, किसी के बारे में नहीं सोचना कि आईआईटीएन दे रहा है, वो दे रहा है, आपको अपनी देखना है, आपकी अपनी जर्नी है ये। और कुछ लोगों को पहले अटेम्प्ट में होता है, कुछ लोगों को आप तो 5-5, 6-6 पता नहीं कितने अटेम्प्ट्स हो गए, हमारे टाइम तो 4 अटेम्प्ट्स ही थे, तो किसी का थोड़ा लेट होता है। बट अगर आपको बनना ही है, आपका डिटर्मिनेशन है कि आपको सिविल सर्विसेज क्लियर करना है, तो बिल्कुल लगे रहिए, एंड सक्सेस मिलना ही मिलना है।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Sir, if you don't mind, can we have a rapid fire session round with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I will love that.
Okay, sir. So what comes in your mind when I say a word, Bharat, India?
सारे जहां से अच्छा।
Great. Sir, Sachin or Virat Kohli?
Sachin will always remain Sachin. He's a legend.
Smart work, hard work?
Smart work.
Luck or hard work?
Hard work.
Rajma chawal or chicken?
You know, the harder you work, the luckier you get. You know that.
Yes, sir. Can't agree more.
Rajma chawal or
chicken?
Second option.
Okay, sir. Uniform or वर्दी?
यूनिफॉर्म वर्दी तो एक ही चीज होती है सिमरन, इंग्लिश और हिंदी बोला।
Yes, sir. Uniform. What comes in your mind when I say a word uniform?
What comes in my mind when great pride and privilege.
Well,
And
that was
with
great, sir.
great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, sir. That's all, sir. It was indeed commendable. Any more questions? Now we are closing.
Sir, why did you choose the IPS, sir?
Why did I choose it? Because I was, as I told you, very shy, very timid, and I had no personality. I thought that the uniform will add to my personality, it will add to my aura, my gravitas. उस वक्त मुझे सिर्फ ग्लैमर नजर आता था यूनिफॉर्म का, but once I joined the service, then I realized that it's a very privileged post and everybody looks up to you. आप जब यूनिफॉर्म में बाहर निकलते हैं तो पूरे बच्चा बूढ़ा जो भी सड़क पे आपको देखता है, you are a role model for people. And your every action, every step you take is scrutinized by everybody around you, including your family members. So, as I'm repeating so many times, I love this job and I'm very privileged, very proud to don the uniform. So, IPS definitely is a wonderful, wonderful service. No doubt, all other services are equally important, equally good in their own way. But IPS is a unique service where you can bring instant relief to so many people around you.
Yes, Siva, you can unmute yourself and ask question.
Hello, sir. Sir, we all know the beauty and the responsibility that these jobs come, but I really want to know that what is the dark side of this job? Because I've never seen somebody saying anything bad about this.
I'm very happy because I always keep hearing negative things about the police. You're the first person who's saying कि मैंने कभी negative बात नहीं सुनी पुलिस के बारे में. Dark side है सबसे पहले that you always dealing with negativity. But I'm an eternal optimist and I think that I convert all those negativities into positivities. Because कोई भी मुझे phone call आएगा, any person who comes to me, meet me in the office will not come for something positive. He will always come with a problem. And when I get a phone call also, I'll know that something wrong has happened somewhere. That's why I'm getting this phone call. So it's my job to convert that negativity into positivity. And dark side as such too, you have seen so many films. There's so much of darkness they show in the films. But let me tell you that the darkness is limited and there's lot many heroics, lot many good work done, a lot of good work done by so many policemen in this country, which goes totally unheralded. There's so many unsung police officers who work tirelessly, who make so many sacrifices for the betterment of this country, who remain away from their families, remain away from their dear ones, who put their lives at stake every day, yet they work so hard and they do it selflessly, tirelessly. So it's I would say it's a fantastic job. And again, I'm telling you, I feel very, very proud to be part of the service. I see no darkness in the police job.
Yes, next is Divyanshi. Yeah, you can proceed.
Good evening, sir. Sir, it was really a privilege today to hear what you said. So, as you preferred smart work over hard work, so actually I am very confused between what a smart work is and how you actually overdo it with, and how you overdo your hard work with your smart work. So, how do you distinguish between those two?
It's not very difficult, Divyanshi. आपको पता है जैसे यूपीएससी के एग्जाम ले लो प्रिपरेशन का, आपको पता है कि you cannot finish the entire syllabus. It's like an ocean. बट अगर आपने पिछले कुछ सालों के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स देखे हैं, then you will realize कि इस तरह के सवाल आते हैं, ऐसी तैयारी कर लेनी चाहिए, या ये ट्रेंड ऐसा है. उसी प्रकार when I'm working as an IG, I must know that I cannot solve all the problems of the district at the same time. So I need to prioritize that what is more important for the people of the district where I'm working right now. Then I must know, when to say no. I must know how to delegate work to my subordinates. As a senior officer, it is my job to make people work. तो आप जब अभी स्टूडेंट हो तो भी आपको देखना है कि क्या चीजें हैं जिसमें आप कितना पढ़ भी लोगे तो भी आपके उसमें ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. सम पीपल जैसे उन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की कुछ सर्टेन चीजें पढ़ ली हैं, उसके बाद भी वो 5 किताबें और पढ़ेंगे टू रीड द सेम थिंग. इन माय ओपिनियन दैट इज वेरी फुलिश हार्ड वर्क. बट स्मार्ट हार्ड वर्क है कि आपने जो चीज आपको समझ में आ गई, आप यू मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट थिंग, मेक कंसाइज नोट्स, and you take advantage of people who have succeeded around you. Just मैं जब तैयारी कर रहा था, I had a few friends who had become IAS or IPS officers already. So I took their notes, understood what kind of questions, what kind of answers they wrote in the exam. So that is all, you know, you need to learn from other people's experiences also. So you need to be very smart in everything. In India, often we equate hard work with success, but that is very foolish. We keep thinking that हमने इतने 12 घंटे पढ़ लिया, 15 घंटे पढ़ लिया. ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं है. You can study for 6-7 hours and still you can get through.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now we are taking last question. Ritik, you can proceed.
Sir, this is Ritvik this side again. Sir, last question, sir. Which is your favorite sport and what you play every day that you just told?
My favorite, you know, the sport keeps changing. When I was an IIT, I used to play a lot of squash. I became the champion in Masuri, LBS, and I became the champion at the National Police Academy also. When I came to Bihar, there were no squash courts, only badminton courts. So I shifted to badminton. I was quite good at badminton. Then I shifted to tennis. And I won the Civil Service Championship in Delhi this year in January. Now I've come back to Bihar. There's no tennis courts, no tennis players here. So I've again shifted to badminton. Anything which, you know, where there's a hand-eye coordination, where I have an opponent. I don't like games like golf, where, you know, I like games where I sweat out a lot. I love sweating out. Probably the hormones, the oxytocin, whatever is released after I play makes me very happy every day. So look forward to playing every day. I'm very, very keen as a sports person. I love sports. Anything where I sweat in. I play cricket, I play football also. But obviously now I'm getting older, so football, etc. My, you know, skill sets are diminishing, but still I'm quite good with racket games.
Thank you, sir, for the answer. So we all love you, sir. You are great, really.
Thank you, Ritvik.
Sir, I must tell you that the last 1 hour session with you was no less than a Netflix series, full of amazing, inspiring, and captivating stories. It was indeed commendable, sir. Hats off to you. We thank all cops like you who are serving and making our society safe. Sir, any piece of advice you would like to give?
I told you earlier also, Simran, all the people who are listening to me right now, that we are all very fortunate that we are, you know, living in a changing India. India is developing very fast. I know you will find it cliched, but the younger generation, I find all of you very smart, very knowledgeable, and all of you have certain set of ethics and code of conduct. When I interact with people like you, I find it very enriching, very enlightening for myself that you are so well versed with everything. So just believe in yourself and follow your passions, and you know, always have that childlike curiosity, childlike interest in other things apart from your profession. Do not become a slave to your job or your work, and have passion for whatever you're doing. If you love your job, nothing like it, that's the best thing. But apart from that, live a fulfilling life. You know, I really like people who have a lot of passion, whether it is singing, sports, writing, reading, something or the other, which makes them interesting. So keep looking for new challenges, and it's a continuous process. Life is a journey. There are no destinations, no full stops. Just enjoy the journey, and whatever you get along the way, just enjoy the journey and know how to react to it. And it's not very difficult. I know I might be sounding very summarizing to all of you, but I was a totally rudderless, aimless person at your age. But by the time I turned 21, I was a totally different person. 22, rather. 22 was the age I remember. It was cathartic. So you can all have a wonderful life ahead and just believe in yourself. That is very, very important. Ups and downs will keep coming. It will always happen. This happens with me also at every now and then. It will always happen. We are living a life. But if you're strong, then you'll bounce back very, very quickly. And there's nothing called failure. Just learn from your experiences. That is most important.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us. What we really want is what we really get. It will be my biggest takeaway from this session. I kindly request everyone to kindly switch on their camera for a group photograph. Taken. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request Rohini for the closing session. Over to you, Rohini.
Yes, am I audible now? Okay. Firstly, thank you so much, sir. It's been a very, very wonderful session. I myself am a aspirant of civil services and I want to crack IFS. And after listening to you, I just realized that personally, I am a pessimistic person. And after listening to you, I really feel that even though a person can be pessimist after seeing you, there is a hope and optimism as well. So I'll definitely take the guidance from you, and I'm damn sure that I'll be following every point that you said. So thank you so much, sir. I'm really grateful to have you here on board with us. So with this, we officially come to the end of our event, the mega event Avyukt. So yes, here it begins. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes a sacrifice. So I take the privilege to be the one to express our gratitude towards the highly educated personalities who took time and blessed us with their wisdom. It is indeed an honor to be able to interact with these bureaucrats. Although the entire situation of COVID has restricted all of us between the four walls of our houses, we, the family of Ramjas UPSC wing, has never let down its determination and perseverance. So we have an interesting announcement to make here. We recently had our quiz final rounds, and I'm really happy that we have got the results. So I'll be declaring the results in 3, 2, and 1. So the third position goes to Khushi Jaiswal and Prachi Rikhari from Shahid Rajguru College of Applied Sciences for Women. Congratulations, both of you. Now, the second position goes to Ankit from IP College. And the first position goes to Aman Tiwari from VIT College. Congratulations to all the winners. And more congratulations to all those who couldn't make it, because you guys have shown the determination. I am hopeful that you will be participating in more and more quizzes, because failure is just another step towards success. So all the best, guys. Moving ahead, I'd just like you to show a glimpse of what and all went through behind the stage of making to this mega event. It's over a period of 1 month that my teammates have worked their fingers to the bone to mark Avyukt as one of the finest events of Ramjas UPSC wing. All the committees of the wing have driven this event to reach to this height. And even though all of the preparation is virtual, our wing has not let the spark fade. There were a lot of struggles during the making of Avyukt. Initially, it was a 3-day session, but later on, due to unavoidable circumstances, it changed to a 2-day session. There were a lot of issues that the team, while designing the posters, not to mention the bluffs of realizing that the obituary templates were used at the beginning, but then later on we realized it. And also the mistake of the month done by our gullible President Rahul in messing with the spelling of the month September. Finding the speakers for the session, the respective captions and invitations for the same, all these were confirmed until the last days of the presentation. But we are more than happy to pull off such a great event, even after going through a lot of confusions and ambiguity, thanks to the wonderful team we have got. And without them, it would be a dream to imagine such a wonderful success of Avyukt 21. During the making of Avyukt 21, we not only got the opportunity to interact with all of you, but also learned a lot of both interpersonal and soft skills on our way. In fact, without the holistic work of our teammates, it would have been nearly impossible to pull off such a magnificent event, with us taking back loads of memories and learnings and guidances from people like you. As all the things, good things come to an end, our Avyukt 2021 also comes to an end. I am grateful to be a part of it. Last but not least, we wholeheartedly thank each and every member who has attended our event, Looking forward to meet you all in a yet another event in the future. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Hereby signing off, Rohini. Thank you.